Hi Lee, I just thought I'd record this short video. I thought it'd be easier than writing a long email. Yeah, I mean, I've just been having a look at this website. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine now these links perhaps are working. You need to be a little bit careful though, because they can look, in my opinion, I don't really like to see this because it's just sort of content for the sake of SEO, and I don't like to see it. It just looks a bit contrived in my opinion. And it could look, and you've got to be careful not to use duplicate content because Google can pick up on that. I'm looking at these. They've actually gone to the trouble of actually changing it each time. So, although it's very, very similar content, they have actually changed it, which is a good thing, and it's something that you would need to do. But like I say, it just looks a little bit contrived to me. But I mean, if you feel it's working, and I can well imagine that it will work, you know, we could easily throw up a few pages like this if you want, but you will need to just change this text up slightly each time, like I say, just to be aware of that duplicate content. Because you can see here, if you just look at if you just inspect the code behind this, you can see that that's in an H1 tag. And Google's looking for H1 tags because it gives like a hierarchy to things. So if that product design Bradford's in an H1 tag, then Google thinks, oh, you know, this page must have some relevancy to product design Bradford. Which, if you look at your website, we've got very little written content, certainly none with any sort of rich keywords in it. You know, you could maybe change this to have a bit more keyword text in it, or we could easily add some more pages like they've done. Like I say, I just find it a little bit contrived and a little bit annoying. I mean, that's one thing to consider as well, is just because they're appearing to do better in the search engines doesn't necessarily mean that they get a lot more out of the website than you. You know, they might actually have like quite a high bounce rate, because one thing that people hate to see is things like this, you know, and just content for the sake of content. You know, so that people might come on here and think, oh, there's not much to see, you know, they haven't got much projects on it, or it's just a load of bump. So, you know, just because they're appearing to do well in the search engine doesn't necessarily mean that they're getting a lot out of the website. So just bear that in mind as well. So we could add some content like that, of course. You know, you can still do more with your blog, as we've talked about before. You could do more with social, as we've talked about before. You could have a look at maybe introducing an AdWords campaign, you know, and paying Google to be at the top for search terms like product design York, etc. You know, you'd have to spend a fortune on that. You could run it and, you know, see how it goes. Or you could add those links and just keep a good eye on your analytics as well. You know, see what's happening on your site at the moment. And then if we did add those links, see how they help things, or, you know, they might not help at all, you know, and then we could remove them if we feel that they're not working. Or, you know, so you do need to just have a bit more of a proactive approach. There's this lead forensics as well that I think I mentioned last time. I mean, that's absolutely excellent. That lets you look at who's actually been on your site, and it gives you like the job title, their email address, what company they work at. That then gives you an opportunity to contact them, and then you could say, you know, notice that you've been on LDT design, and we noticed that you were viewing our medical project or whatever. Would you, you know, have you got a project that you're interested in? Do you need us a quote and stuff? So it just lets you sort of, it's not cold calling either, because obviously they've been on your website, so you've got a bit of an in there. If you want me to, I can get Lead Forensics to give you a demo, and they can actually install it on your website, so it's using your, you know, real live data. And you'll see, I mean, it is very, very impressive. And yeah, I think you'll be quite surprised how many people actually do go on your website from potential clients that you could potentially get in touch with. You know, so that's another thing that you could do. So there's a few things there that we could do. And just let me know if you need an hand with any of that. I mean, I don't really do much with SEO, but I mean, I'll help you do stuff like that. I mean, I know the basics of it. And I think I mentioned last time that I do work with Alexandra, who does like the social media and the blogs and stuff, and she'll have a look at your analytics and stuff. So if you haven't got time to do all this and be a bit more proactive with it, then she will do it for you, do you know what I mean? So she doesn't charge a lot of money either. You know, so you could maybe have a chat with her if you wanted to do more on social, or do more on your blog, or, you know, have a look at, you know, look more into your analytics and see what's working and what's not. So there's a few things that you could do, but you know, you can't just throw up a website like we have now, which does look nice, but has got very little written content on it, and expect it to do particularly well in the search engines, because it just doesn't work like that. You know, there's just too many other people doing exactly the same. And if you look at their website, actually, they've got an awful lot of written content, an awful lot of different pages, so that's why they'll be doing better than you. It won't just be those links in there. I noticed that they've got a blog as well, and they look to, I don't know how often they write in there, but you know, they might be fairly active in there. They might be more active on social media. I noticed that they've got some Google reviews. You know, so like I said to you before, it's like a multi-pronged approach. You know, it won't just be as simple as those links in the footer that's making the difference, obviously. Do you know what I mean? There'll probably be a number of things that they're doing better than us. Do you know what I mean? Like I say, you're going to have to look in the footer there, in the header there, and see all the different menu options to notice, you know, to see how much written content they've got. So that's one of the ways that they'll be doing it. But like I say, don't confuse doing well in the search engines for necessarily doing really well out of the website, because people could be coming on here and getting a bit frustrated by the amount of sort of duplicate rubbish that they've got on it. So it is a fine balance between having content for the search engines and still being nice to read and having nice content for your visitors. So just do consider that as well. Do you know what I mean? I've seen loads of websites where they throw up links like this, product design, well, not just product design, obviously, whatever it is, it just goes on, and you just think, fucking hell, it's just contrived bullshit. So you've got to be a little bit wary of that as well. So, like I say, consider all what I've just told you, and let me know if you need me to do anything, but I can certainly help you if you need me to. Okay, cheers, Lee, thanks, bye.